ধন্যবাদ জনাব প্রফেসর ফরহাদ হোসাইন, ভাইস চেয়ারম্যান সিনিয়র অ্যাডভাইজার বাংলাদেশ হেরিটেজ ফাউন্ডেশন। ওনার মূল্যবান বক্তব্য উপস্থাপন করার জন্য ওনাকে ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি। Now I am inviting His Excellency Professor Sudharam Sanaviratne, High Commission of India in Bangladesh, to deliver High Commissioner of Sri Lanka in Bangladesh to deliver his valuable speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Aibuan, Assalamu alaikum. Excellency Valir Rahman, all members of the High Table, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I stand here as the High Commissioner of Sri Lanka, a brother and a blood relative of Bangladesh, who has a history between this country, what we call in our history books, it is called Bangladesha, and we have a relationship going up to 6th century BC. Next year, we celebrate 50 years of our friendship and solidarity with Bangladesh. So we have planned with the High Commission in year 2022, a series of events, and also events such as speeches organized by the High Commission in relation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, celebrating our friendship. I stand here as an envoy of goodwill and not as a regular ambassador, because I'm a professor of a university. I'm an archaeologist and historian, and I had over 35 years of engagement reaching out to people on heritage studies for inclusivity and for people-to-people connectivity. Now, this kind of thing is a part of my blood, because I realized this very much early, and that I must say it has a connection to Bangladesh. In 1971, I did my education in India for 10 years. In 1971, we had a whole group of young people from Bangladesh who were fleeing from the repression that was carried out by foreign powers. I met with them. My uncle, apparently, who was also a diplomat, was a friend of Bangabandhu. He brought a solidarity group of intellectuals to support Bangladesh. And there, my uncle invited me and I met these young people. And at that meeting, I still remember, it was not a single meeting, but I stayed with them for about 3 weeks. I shared their pain. We cried together. We shared the sadness, the destruction that was going on. And there was, His Excellency, there was an exhibition at Vigyan Bhavan, which depicted the atrocities that were conducted in Bangladesh. I still remember those images are still very strongly embedded in my mind. It's very difficult to describe those images, the destruction and the cruelty with which were perpetrated on the Bangladesh people. And after 2-3 weeks, I was with them, helping them with the exhibition. And after that, again I rejoiced when I heard about the victory of the War of Liberation. I'm telling this to you, this is a marker in my life. And now I'm very happy to represent my country as the High Commissioner to Bangladesh. When I look back at those 50 years, And when I come here to see what Bangladesh is, the developments, how you all have risen yourself. See, ladies and gentlemen, both our countries have shared history, not on the historical side, but we have gone through terrorism, we have gone through tsunamis, both countries, and we have gone through economic upheavals. But both countries had the resilience to rise above all that, all those negative things. So this is the strength. Now how does this strength actually stand? This strength stands with heritage. This is why I am very thankful for the gracious invitation your Heritage Foundation extended to me to speak a few words. Because for 35 years I've been involved with UNESCO work and also the SARC Foundation on sharing heritage, reaching out to people, appreciating culture, inclusivity. Both our countries are composed by different people. It could be religious groups, language groups, cultural groups, economic groups. But we all have a commonality of humanity, ultimately. It is this thing you have to touch. We have to respect other people's religion. You have to respect their sentiments. Each culture has its own pride. We must respect that. And this is what taught me as a historian and archaeologist to appreciate, to reach out, and also go through a kind of a people-to-people connectivity in all this. So when you have little upheavals that upset the balance in society, the wonderful achievements your country has had, and the philosophy of Bangabandhu, and Excellency Sheikh Hasina's vision plan for the futuristic drive towards Bangladesh, you cannot afford such kind of tribal mentalities dislodging the development and the progress your country has achieved and what it is to achieve at the next level. Now, as an ambassador, as an academic, I reach out to your culture, and you have reached to my culture. We celebrate Rabindranath Tagore. His music is very much prevalent in my country. People have come to Vishwabharati, studied music. To this day, in our villages, we celebrate poetry that mentions Bangladesh. I don't think you all know this history. In our history books, Chittagong is described, I'm talking about early historic text, as Chittagama. So this kind of connectivity, if we can reach out to each other, why cannot the people here, people in Sri Lanka, can reach out to others who live in this country, who have their own religious beliefs, their own language, their own cultural practices? Because ultimately, it is the humanity that reaches towards all that. In 2007, I was appointed as the Director General of all the World Heritage Sites in Sri Lanka by UNESCO Heritage Sites. One of the first things we did was, we are having a war going on against terrorism, but we had to reach those people who were suffering in those areas. So one thing we did was, I'm sure you'll be appreciative of this, how we redefine heritage. Because to us, heritage is not just about culture, it is about environment, it is about knowledge from the past, culture, and most important, the next generation, our children. So if we try to reach out to heritage and place it at a pedestal that this is why identified as heritage, then I don't think we can have problems at all. because we respect heritage for those sentiments. And it's not only your heritage. It's not only my heritage, it's our heritage. So what you all are doing today, trying to protect the environment, because both countries have problems of environment. Let's face it. Unless that environment is protected, your heritage is also not protected. Unless you respect the knowledge you had from the past and learn from it, the wisdom we had from the past, then we are not learning anything. Unless we respect culture of other people, everyone's culture, because you should embrace it as your own culture. When you talk about Bangladesh, we talk about the culture in Bangladesh. That is the thing you all have to embrace, and that's the thing I embrace. Then most importantly, how you respect the next generation, because they are going to be the next leadership in the future, and they have to be not only protected, they should be educated. What is important about inclusivity, multicultural heritage, multi-religious heritage. Now this is something we did with UNESCO school programs, which I'm sure you all can do this. Go into school programs and start telling children what could be done of inclusivity. So I'm just placing those things, and I'm really looking forward to my stay in Bangladesh and to reach out to your own people who I consider my blood relatives. Because when we come from Sri Lanka, we always think of Bangladesh as because a prince came 600 BC to Sri Lanka and married a princess from Sri Lanka. And very often our books say that that was the beginning of our culture. So we have a long history. We have to take care of each other and we protect each other. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the time given, and I wish well with the Heritage Foundation for your future work, and whatever I can do with the High Commission of Sri Lanka and from Sri Lanka, we'll be very happy to extend towards you. And God bless your country and God bless you. Thank you.